Hi, thanks for joining me today for an episode of Eat to Explore with Rowena. And we are exploring Morocco today. Morocco is a country in Northern Africa, continent, and great history and great cuisine, lots of spices. All right, let's unbox. Inside the box, you will find a fun cooking tool. This is actually for the kebabs. Um, and then we got, of course, booklet to learn about the country, um, kind of landmark, geography, history, music, language. You actually will learn all about the different spices that you can find in Morocco, and it's also key ingredients in a lot of the cuisine of Moroccan cuisine. History, geography, music, art. And you got music playlists to listen to as well, and some movies to watch after. Now, we will be making with this box 3 recipes. Of course, you have to do tagine, and today we are making the Moroccan tagine, um, kebabs, as well as a flatbread, spice flatbread. So let's start. And of course, you always have all the spices that helps you make the dishes. So we're gonna make tagine right now. Join me. First, I'd like to thank Melissa for providing all this fresh produce for Moroccan tagine. As mentioned, I'm going to make the vegetarian version. You will need cauliflower chickpeas instead of lamb, and then you will also add butternut squash. This is a big one, and you have onion as well. So let's start. Okay, let's start. So we need a pound of cauliflower and a pound of butternut squash. And this is actually a 2 pound, and this is actually a 3 pound. So I'm just gonna cut this in half. That's all we need. And save the other half for another dish. Now with cauliflower, cut off the core and then peel off all the leaves. Okay. I actually, and many of you know, I actually compost, and I have a compost machine called Mill, and I actually put all my food waste in there. We have a little basket, a little bowl, and I'll put everything in there, and it goes into my bin, my mill. All right, now we're gonna cut this into florets. So you still have all this. Just trim off the core. All right. And this is how you cut them into florets. Just you see that little kind of stem, just cut it off and then make it into small. And with the tagine, I actually like it really, really small. So that's not chunky. So cut it into like this size. Okay. Little floret. And you cook evenly, and even the stem can be cooked. So I will just cut it into little cubes. All right. So it's about this size, bite size. I'm going to continue doing this. You just cut the ends off, and then you can just make it into little florets. If it's too big, just cut off and split it in half. There you go. So you can keep cutting it in half or quarter until it's sort of bite size, small. Okay, so here you go. Here are the florets of cauliflower. So now we are going to put that aside. Now we're gonna cut the butternut squash. So with butternut squash, this is a big one. And again, I said this is like 3.5 pounds, so we only need 1 pound. So I actually would cut them in half first and then peel it. You know what? Peel it first. Use a peeler, pretty easy. Just peel off so that it's easier to cut without the tough skin. You know, you can get them pre-peel and even sometimes you can get them pre-cut, but you know, why do that when you can have the whole butternut squash and learn how to really cut it? All right. Very easy. Again, as long as you have a peeler, much easier to cut them into pieces once you have the tough skin peel off. And you can go a few layer in to get to the real orange color. So just go a couple of times. All right. All right. See that? So I'm gonna do one more round. There you go. And now, and this are all gonna go to my compost. It's gonna be useful for my garden. Okay, now I'm gonna slice again. Just peel off the bottom part. It's a little bit harder, but I can do it. Again, when you do this with the kids, just make sure you watch them carefully. You don't want them to cut themselves. Okay. Okay, almost there. Yeah, this brown part is a little harder, but we got it. Okay. Now we are gonna try and cut it in half first, and we only use half of it. All right. Now, let's do that. Okay. We probably will only need this much, and you can keep this for another time. It's a little bit hard, but you can do it. There you go. Done. And then with the side, you can just kind of trim it off. And there you go. Now we can slice this up. Okay. Cut it in half. Okay. And then I always like to cut them into strips first. Okay. Need a little strength here. Okay. Then there you go. Once you have little sticks, then you can make them into cubes. All right. Okay. Big cut in half. Okay, good. So now we are just gonna cut down the cubes and put it aside with the cauliflower. I mean, it's butternut season in the fall, so you can get lots of different winter squash. And if you can't find butternut squash, you can put any kind of squash too. Acorn squash, delicata squash. So you don't have to just do butternut, but butternut, pretty much get them everywhere. So it's much easier to find than the other type of winter squash. Okay, so we're going to do the other half. Kind of like cubes, okay? There you go, your cauliflower and your butternut squash. And now we are going to dice the onion. So this is a big onion. You probably only need half. Okay. So medium-sized onion will work. So this is a ginormous onion, so I'm just going to do half. Peel off the skin. Okay, and then we're gonna dice it. See, now they're all intact, but I'm gonna slice it together. And now you're gonna just dice them. Okay, again, today we're making the vegetarian optional recipe. So no meat, but instead we're adding cauliflower and also chickpeas. All right, there you go. This aside. And we are doing the chickpeas. And here's my chickpeas. We are ready to start. Okay, we're gonna start cooking the tagine. So if you have a tagine pot or the ceramic, use that. If not, I like using a Dutch oven. And then we're gonna put olive oil, and we are going to add the onion. I'm actually going to move it. Okay, I think this is better to see. Okay, so we have the onion and the olive oil in here. So let it saute for a few minutes. Okay, now we're gonna add the savory tagine mix and stir it with the onion. It smells amazing. There's cardamom, ginger, lots of flavor in that tagine mix. So okay, next we're gonna put in the squash first because it takes a bit longer to cook than the cauliflower. And of course, if you do meat, step 2 is to brown the lamb pieces first, and then you can add on to all this vegetable. Stir that, and now we're gonna add the diced tomato. Then we're adding 2 cups of water. Now what you can do is sort of scrape off the bottom of the pan, the Dutch oven. Just make sure the burn, like the not burn, but the onion pieces are all unstuck. So, all right, good. So we're gonna let this boil, and then for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna add the cauliflower, the chickpeas, and then let it cook. So I'm gonna move this to the middle stove, and then I'm gonna start cooking while this is cooking, I'm gonna do the couscous. All right. All right, for the couscous, I'm gonna put the couscous in here. This is the Moroccan couscous. We're gonna add 1 cup of water. One tablespoon of olive oil and some salt. Bring it to boil, and then you will notice that it will cook, and you just have to fluff it. All right, just stir in a little bit. Let it boil for a few minutes. In the meantime, let's look at our tagine. Okay, it's boiling. I'm gonna let it cook for another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna add the cauliflower and chickpeas. So once the couscous is boiling, you just have to switch it off and really cover it, and then put it aside. All right. And now let's look at our tagine. I'm gonna shift it back here. You can see. Yes. Now put our chickpeas and cauliflower. And if you have some frozen peas, you can put in too. It's actually extra protein, and it's delicious. And that's what I'm gonna actually add some peas in there, give it a little color. I'm gonna cover this and let it cook while I go get my peas. Okay, here you go. Now we can serve. And you got the couscous here. So this is how you fluff it. Okay. And this is how you serve it. Now you can just do it as in a bowl. We have a little bit of couscous as the base. And then a nice scoop of tagine. All right, the ultimate comfort food. You got your tagine, big pot of tagine that can be shared with couscous. Enjoy. Thanks again for joining me on another episode of Eat to Explore with Rowena, and we were making Moroccan tagine. I hope you enjoy it. We made a vegetarian version, but of course you can also make it with lamb, and there's instructions for it. So until next time, I would love to see you for another episode of Eat to Explore with Rowena. Thank you.